We've got breaking news in the pro wrestling world because WWE and TNA Wrestling have officially announced a multi year partnership. The news broke this morning when WWE sent out this press release. WWE and TNA Wrestling, one of the world's top wrestling brands and a subsidiary of Anthem Sports and Entertainment, today announced a multi year partnership aimed at creating unprecedented crossover opportunities within WWE and TNA programming for NXT superstars and TNA wrestling. Can you imagine hearing this news between like 2005 through 2009? Remember when everybody was like super anti TNA, where it was like WWE versus TNA and LOL TNA and just all of this? It is, I can't even imagine back then hearing the news that I'm hearing now. The press release also said the agreement will enable talent to garner additional exposure across key WWE and TNA programming, including weekly flagship shows such as NXT, which airs live on the CW and TNA Impact. Select WWE premium live events and TNA pay per views, in turn, bolstering the in ring development with exposure to world class talent and coaching. So here's the thing. Of course, the nxtna collaboration isn't necessarily new. This is just the first time they've made it official. And from the looks of it, from the way that this press release reads, it basically tells us, hey, we're going to be putting a lot more effort into this nxtna collaboration than you probably think. Because we have seen TNA people show up on NXT, a la Jordan Grace versus Roxanne Perez, Joe Hendry coming out and getting like millions of numbers on social media and YouTube and having everybody talk, and as well as some other people that also, not just from TNA to NXT, but from NXT over to TNA. So we have been seeing this partnership for a bit, but now it's official and now it looks like they're going to, again, put more effort into this partnership. So now we're here going, all right, so what do we do with this information? Well, I'll tell you what we can do with this information. One, we can get excited because here's the thing. If you are an NXT viewer, I watch and cover NXT on a weekly basis, and everyone knows here that the women are money. And we're always talking about how the women are so great and they really are the reason to watch NXT nowadays. Of course, there are guys that we do like on the roster, but like Obafemi, Trick Williams, those people. But unfortunately, the men's division has not been as hot as the women's division. In fact, more recently, it has felt even a lot more slim, where it doesn't feel like there's a whole lot of depth to the men's division. And I swear, I feel like almost every single week I'm coming onto these podcasts and going, we need more men. We need more men. It needs to be raining men. Anyways, the point is, it's not raining men on NXT, especially now that we got Obafemi as champion. I was sitting here going, damn, who's like legitimately going to be challenging Obafemi that we can actually buy might defeat Obafemi? The options were very, very slim. Now, of course, with the TNA crossover and the collaboration, I am really hoping, fingers crossed, that we do get a lot more of the TNA dudes over on NXT because we need them. We need them, guys. We really, really do. For the women, it's a little bit different. The women on NXT, they are completely stacked. However, that doesn't mean we can't get some like really cool dream matches and cool collaborations. So here are some of the things that I want to see, and let me know what you guys want to see in this collaboration. So, of course, the first thing is a Worlds Collide type of pay-per-view where you do got TNA versus NXT talent. I think that would definitely be something that the fans would be interested in. And for the most part, like NXT puts on really good PLEs. And now, can you imagine them doing one with TNA? It would just make it, levels better. So that would be something very, very cool. And God, again, I did not imagine the day where we could be talking about like legitimately seeing an NXT and TNA pay-per-view. Of course, we did talk about it before because, we're wrestling fans. We get excited about things. The second we saw the nxtna collaboration, we were like, okay, let's go. In fact, I even spoke to Jordynne Grace, and she spoke about her pie in the sky for what she wants to see with this nxtna collaboration. Take a look.
I hope it's gonna continue on. I hope, like, obviously, if you do it too much, it's gonna not be special anymore. But I do think that there's things you can do. Like, can you imagine Josh Alexander wrestling Chad Gable? Like, that'd be special. Or even my husband, Jonathan Gresham, wrestling Chad Gable. It'd be amazing. And you have like the Rascals reuniting with Dez. I feel like there's so much that can be done. And I think that all that is just super exciting for fans, and it's good for wrestling in general. And ultimately, I'm obsessed with the idea of a Worlds Collide pay-per-view. Like, that is the apex to me. That's like the ultimate thing, like a yearly pay-per-view where that happens and all the matches that fans dream about can finally come to fruition. Like, that's like, my pie in the sky dream.
I agree with you, Jordan. I agree with you. But now, the other thing that I kind of want to see is an Ultimate X match here in NXT with NXT and TNA women. I think that would be super fun to see. Maybe kind of borrow that concept over on the NXT side. I think would be really, really fun. So just throwing that out there, just putting it out into the universe. Let's see if somebody grabs it and executes it. But now, the other thing that I want to talk about, because I feel like this is important too, is potential dream matches and what we may be seeing. Of course, when you're seeing the news, probably the first person that pops into your mind is Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry, mind you, he does have a championship match against Nick Nemeth at TNA Genesis this Sunday. So who knows? Maybe this is finally the pay-per-view where Joe Hendry actually wins the TNA World title. We've sort of been waiting this for a minute. I do think it might happen at TNA Genesis, and if it doesn't, then I'm just gonna be wrong again, but it's fine. But here's the thing. Joe Hendry really is that person where people are like, ooh, what does this mean? So I think already some expectations are, hey, maybe expecting him in the Rumble, maybe expecting him to go up against Obafemi for the NXT Championship. Hell, maybe we see a world where he does become NXT Champion. That could definitely happen, guys. Or NXT North American Champion. Mind you, we still got another men's belt on there, so it can happen. Now, other people that I'm like really hoping we get to see Obafemi wrestle on top of Joe Hendry is Moose, Josh Alexander. That one's like number one for me. PCO and Steve Macklin. Those are just some of the names that I want to throw out in terms of who I would want to see Obafemi face. I also want to see a world where Josh Alexander is NXT champion. That's my pie in the sky, guys. Josh Alexander as NXT champion. That's the one for me. That's the one where if it happens, just know there's going to be a giant smile on my face. Okay, so we talked about Obafemi, the NXT champion. Well, let's talk about the women's NXT champion in Julia. Instantly, we're like, hey, what about her versus Masha Slamovich, the Knockouts champion, who we just saw on NXT this week? And I mean, hey, we got Roxanne versus Jordan when they were both champions. So maybe we can do it with Julia and Masha. Another player person that I want to throw in there, Danny Luna, Jody Threat, and of course, Jordynne Grace. Now, in regards to Roxanne Perez, I'm still not sure. Hey, is she going to the main roster? Is she not? But since she's still there right now, of course, there's a bunch of people I would love to see her wrestle on NXT. But one of the top ones that I would like to see her wrestle is Masha Slamovich. I think that Roxanne Perez does incredibly well when she wrestles women that are a lot bigger than her. And Roxanne's very tiny. So that's almost every single woman on the roster. But regardless, I would love to see her versus Masha Slamovich. Another dream match that I want to see on NXT television is Stephanie Vaquer versus Jordynne Grace. Ooh, I don't even have words, guys. I just have sound effects. I'm gonna be like Booker T going, oh, oh, oh. Maybe don't do that. Okay. I'm so excited. Can you tell? And as I mentioned earlier in this video, this isn't entirely a new thing. It's just official now. But back at SummerSlam, I did ask Triple H about why WWE chose to partner and cross promote and all of that with TNA in the first place. Here's what he had to say.
Denise Salcedo, Instinct Culture. So speaking
speaking of NXT, I did wanted to ask because we're seeing this collaboration with TNA, and so I wanted to ask first and foremost why WWE decided to pursue a longer, I guess you can say, relationship here with TNA from what we've been seeing, and also what we can expect from that, what the end game is, what the fans can expect from that.
So I think, as we've said before, we're open for business, right? Whether that's what you see in NXT with TNA, or whether that's different international opportunities. We're going to look at what's best for WWE, but how does that benefit us? How does it benefit them? How does it benefit us? You know, I think there's opportunities as you look at NXT. A lot of those kids are young, and what they really need is repetitions. They need opportunities to go do. We can only create so many of them. So when we have opportunities to partner with others, help their business at the same time, you know, get them on a platform that is seen by so many more people, use the strength and the power of our brand across social media to help them. I think you'll see more of that, right? So when we have the opportunity to help them, while at the same point in time getting the future of not just us, the future of this business, more opportunities and more reps to improve what they do as performers, to improve what they do on every aspect of what they go out day in and day out and do. You know, the world is different now. There aren't territories where you're out there working a couple hundred days a year, and I don't know that anybody would want to. But we all did it, but it's how everybody got where they got to, and how they got good, and how they learned this. So we have to create that, and we have to give those opportunities to other people to grow and to have that, because the only way they're going to learn how to do this, the only way you learn to go out there and feel that crowd and understand it and change what you're doing and have that dynamic, because you plan it all you want in the back. When you get out there, and that's where the magic happens. I don't care what anybody says. And those decisions, those in the moment game day decisions that are made there live, your nuances, that's what makes this great. So it's reps. It's really reps, especially when you're just starting in the business. So I want them to have that. So when we can create those opportunities, to me, whoever that's with, I'm excited to do it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, where are you at with this? What do you guys think? What are your hot takes? What are your opinions? What are you looking for? What's your pie in the sky? Go ahead and let me know in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Do not forget to subscribe to this channel. I'm on the road to 200K. Help a girl out, please. I'm starting to get desperate, and desperate's not a good look. All right. So please subscribe to the channel. And if you enjoyed this video, may I also recommend that you check out my women's Royal Rumble prediction video, where I tried to predict all 30 entrants into the women's Royal Rumble. Enjoy that one, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.